All right, let's get going. No one's arrived yet in the live, but we will get started anyway. Okay, got a couple people coming in. Come on in. Welcome, everybody. It's going to be an interesting one. Okay, so I'm the Spiritual Genie. Welcome back to my returning subscribers. You're my vibe, my tribe. I've missed you guys. I've been away for sure, and still, working through some stuff in my own life, but at the same time, when spirit calls me to do something, I have to listen, okay? And I had to do this. I had to do this live because I feel like it's really important. This is an important story that needs to be told. It's not about me. It's about the victims. It's about getting justice for the victims. It's about telling their story. And as a psychic medium that deals in and loves, all things true crime, and lending my spiritual gifts to these cases, right? I feel like it's kind of sometimes my duty to see what I can see, what clues can we get, and so let's see, what do we have here? All right, yeah, for live viewers, we're going to be interacting in real time, and for anyone else that finds this later, that's totally fine. Don't forget to hit the like button. It helps the video get through the algorithms, and it'll help this story get out there. So we got an interesting one, like I said. Updates in the Gilgo Beach homicides case, and it just gets crazier and crazier. The rabbit hole goes deep with this one, and we're gonna dive down it. We're gonna just go over what we know so far, and we're also going to kind of go over some predictions that I made in the past during channeling sessions and during some psychic readings that are coming to light. I mean, almost verbatim, some of the things that I said, felt, and saw are coming now into light as in the form of new evidence and being proven to be true. So it's crazy, right? Let's see. All right, like I'm a psychic medium, and what I do is I commune with spirits in the heavenly realms. There's nothing black magic or nefarious about what I do. My gifts are God-given, and they're guided by the Most High and Holy Spirit. All right. I connect with my angels, my ancestors, my guides. They are the ones that bring me the information. They are the ones that I receive my messages from. All right. There's a veil separating the dimensions, and some of us have the ability to walk between dimensions as I do. So that's what I'm doing when I do these types of cases, especially psychic readings. I also do investigative reporting, just on the regular true crime side of things, but I definitely like to use my abilities to try and probe these cases and get some answers, get clues to hopefully bringing justice for the victims and their families. I've definitely had these gifts since I was a child, and I've started to learn about them a lot more, into my 20s. And now I'm really honing in on them and using them to serve many clients on a daily basis. All right. So enough about what I do. I live to serve and bring truth to light for those that can't speak for themselves, the lost, the missing, those deserving justice for deaths unpunished. Okay. So I'm just kind of looking at right here. We'll refer back to this, but I have on my phone the notes that I took from the original psychic reading. We're going to go back and look at my original psychic reading, and we're going to kind of talk about all of this new evidence that's come out in the case. All right. So Shannan's energy, honestly, has come to me pretty strong in the past. I feel her spirit very clearly. So when we did this reading in the beginning, like I said, it's trippy. Okay. So her family's attorney, right? The attorney that her family hired, attorney John Ray, he just did a symposium, coming out with new evidence. They did a press release a while back in 2023. And that one also brought a lot of bombshell evidence to light. And the evidence that's coming out is basically implicating a far-reaching web of corruption, okay? Not only by the police, but potentially politicians and who knows who else. pretty seedy stuff going on. So let me just pull up. We're not going to do that one. Let's pull up this article and just take a look at this before we dive any deeper. I'm going to share this with you guys. Okay. All right, so I pulled up an article right here. And there's Rex Heuermann's mug. Okay, for those of you that aren't aware of this case, Rex Heuermann implicated in 4 homicides that were first being called the Gilgo 4 when they were discovered, right? And it's kind of, I think I'll have to just read this article. It's like there's so much to this case, but this is the, alleged Long Island serialist right here. Ooh, those eyes, jeepers creepers, let me tell you. Look at those eyes. And the guy's huge, okay? So just keep that in mind as we talk about this stuff. If I'm a little rusty, I apologize. I'm just kind of going with the flow tonight and doing my best here. So we're going to just start off by reading this article. There we have Rex Heuermann, alleged SK, right? Suspected Gilgo Beach SK. So attorney John Ray is who they're talking about. Shannan Gilbert. She was a victim of, maybe not of exactly Rex Heuermann, but because of Shannan Gilbert going missing and them looking for her body, a bunch of other bodies on Gilgo Beach were discovered. Okay. And hers wasn't found until about a year or a year and a half later. And a massive cover up. They tried to cover up the fact that, it's now, hello, everybody in the chat. Welcome. Let's just say hi real quick. Thank you guys for stopping by. Just going to get started. Sorry, I'm a little choppy. I haven't been on here in a little while. I lost internet connection last night, so I lost all my tabs that I had open. So I had to reopen some tabs, and I thought we'll just go with the flow, because if you guys are following this case, you probably already listened to the full symposium. I cannot play it because I will get copyrighted. So if you're interested in listening to that and hearing everything that Attorney John Ray has to say, the interview room is where you are going to find that. I definitely found some of the tabs, and I know quite a bit about it if I can stop stumbling over my words. Anyway, I just took a spiritual bath, and I've been kind of going through it, but working through it. So whatever, we're doing it. I felt called to do it. We're going to do it. It says, attorney calls for larger investigation into suspected Gilgo Beach killer Rex Heuermann. So let's just read this article. Boom. An attorney who has represented several victims' families called for an expansion in the investigation of suspected Gilgo Beach SK Rex Heuermann. Now I'm going to say things like SK and try to do my best not to get censored in the algorithm. They don't like when you use certain terminology, which is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. Let me get some water. Claiming that Heuermann may have victims outside of New York. It is clear that the Gilgo Beach Task Force is not big enough, strong enough, organized enough to handle all these cases that are multi-state. Miller-placed attorney John Ray said at a symposium he held at St. John's University, "We have to get a much bigger look from the federal end. We need the FBI and the United States Attorney's Office to step in," which is why I asked why I started this case back in 2011. John Ray has been like a bulldog in this case. He has been relentless in his pursuit for the truth. And because people do not trust the police force in Suffolk County, where all this stuff went down, right? And because they don't really trust the police, there have been witnesses that have come forward and revealed some really critical information to John Ray. And so he's been putting together his own investigation for the past 13 years. The guy's a bulldog. And he doesn't stop. Like I said, he's relentless, and I admire him in his tenacity to find the truth. And I feel he feels a connection to Shannan Gilbert's spirit, as I do, as a psychic medium. And the things that he said at his symposium, I'm telling you, line right up with all the things that I had said, implicating a lot of people that were involved the night that Shannan Gilbert disappeared. Super sus, right? But I'm inclined to believe, like Shannan told me during a channeling session, that she found herself in a viper den, and there are a lot of bad men, like she said. And it's not limited to just Rex Heuermann, like police that are involved and politicians and all kinds of people. So it's pretty freaking mind-blowing how corrupt. It makes you kind of wonder about other cases too, and just how corrupt things can get on the inside. So yeah, go check out the interview room if you want to watch the full symposium. The whole thing is there. He busts it wide open and drops all kinds of bombshells, right? Implicating a lot of people. So I'm sure a lot of people aren't too happy about it. Other murders Heuermann has been associated with, either by law enforcement or by news media, with several outside of New York. In September, various news outlets surmised that Rex Heuermann could be connected to the disappearance of Julia Ann Bean, a South Carolina woman from Sumter County who went missing in 2017. The Sumter County Sheriff's Office confirmed that it would be investigating a possible connection, although no updates have been given in this case. Bean's daughter, Cameron Bean, claimed to have seen her mother get into a dark truck and also claimed to have recognized Heuermann. When his arrest was made public, Heuermann officially became a suspect in the Gilgo murders after police linked him to a dark green Chevy Avalanche, which a witness had seen. According to public records, Heuermann also owns a timeshare at Club de Soleil in Las Vegas. Since his arrest, according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, investigators have looked at Heuermann in connection to the death of Jody Brewer, whose torso was found in the Mojave Desert in 2007. News 12 also reported in August that Las Vegas police would use Heuermann's DNA in a direct comparison with the MURDER victim Victoria Camara, who was found dead near Boulder City, Nevada. So if you do follow this case, you'll know that Rex Heuermann preyed upon sex workers and escorts, and that was his flavor of choice. And he also seemed to have a thing for sometimes maybe dismembering his victims. And when the original Gilgo 4 were found on Gilgo Beach, after they had been looking for Shannan Gilbert, didn't find Shannan Gilbert, but found the Gilgo 4 first, they were in these how do you call it? They were in sacks, right? They were in these sacks that are used for duck hunting. I cannot think of the word that it's called right now for some reason. Forgive me. And a recent victim has also been potentially tied to Rex Heuermann, allegedly, Karen Vergata, who went unnamed and was called Fire Island Jane Doe for about 27 years until DNA technology was able to finally pinpoint her identity very recently, and they figured out she's Karen Vergata. And a really strange story around her. Parts of her body were found strewn along Gilgo Beach. They found her skull in one part. They found the rest of her body in another part. And there's I think 11 bodies in total that were found along Gilgo Beach. And so far they've been able to charge him with 4 of the homicides. And it's definitely looking like he could have something to do with the others as well. They all fit the profile, So potentially expanding outside of other states. It's crazy. So we're talking Nevada, and what was the other one? South Carolina. I believe he had another property. I can't remember exactly where that was, but also at this timeshare in Nevada. So crazy. Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney has been asked about out-of-state homicides possibly associated with Heuermann during press conferences, but has refused to comment as they are not his jurisdiction. John Ray's symposium. Like, I was jaw dropped the entire time I was listening. I was like, holy moly, this is like freaking verbatim, like some of the stuff that I had channeled during my psychic reading with Shannan Gilbert. And I really want to do one with Karen Vergata, but right now I just don't have the energy. So we're going to go back over the ones I already did and just look at some of the key factors, look at that other press release, and talk about some of the creepy factors that do link law enforcement into all of this. John Ray's symposium. Ray's symposium lasted about 4 hours. He spent much of it arguing that Shannan Gilbert, I spelled her name wrong in the title, sorry. I'll have to change that. Shannan Gilbert, whose family he represents, was, and criticized the Suffolk County Police Department's handling of her disappearance. Gilbert went missing on Oak Beach in 2010 and was found dead in 2011. Her official cause of death is disputed, with the official autopsy being ruled inconclusive, while an autopsy by Dr. Michael Baden concluded that Gilbert may have been murdered. Several witnesses also spoke, including one woman who did not give her name but revealed herself as the witness who gave Ray an affidavit linking Rex Heuermann to Fire Island Jane Doe, Karen Vergata. So I want to say this is fair use, okay? Fair use right here, that I can use this under fair use law. I should be able to play this freaking video. Let's give it a shot. You better not give me fucking copyright. Maybe I can like speed it up a little bit. Let's see. No. Okay, it doesn't want me doing that. Sorry. Just trying to not have like a bunch of ads.
Definitive evidence, John Ray, linking Shannan to Rex Heuermann.
I wouldn't call it definitive, but what I would call it is important and enough to bear further investigation as opposed to no investigation. There's several pieces.
Fair use. You're allowed to use news
they're all circumstantial,
news articles,
but substantial. And so.
Okay, it's a good teaser. What are they?
Yeah, they are such things as that Shannan had, according to one of our witnesses, she had met Heuermann in Sayville Motor Lodge, where she ran away from him. The evidence is that in her diary.
Oh shoot!
She has a one entry for Long Island. All the
Should
rest
be able to
of
watch
New
it.
York City or the environment and of New York City.
I know.
And
John Ray's killing it.
A note.
I mean, no pun intended. Okay, let's watch an ad for a second.
A note of Massapequa and a name Chris. Heuermann adopted common names like Tom and Chris and that.
Had he ever used Chris that we know?
Don't know.
I don't know,
but he's used all the other ones around. Matt.
It definitely has been using.
You have new evidence connecting more victims.
Aliases and whatnot.
Shannan,
obviously,
more victims. What's that evidence?
Interacting with
the evidence we have are
workers.
the people themselves who were victims of Rex Heuermann and have given affidavits to that effect, and have appeared with me on television today, saying that they were victimized by him. So we have outright evidence of that.
So they were victimized in what way? I mean, if they got their way, what kind of charge? Because they're alive.
Yeah, they're alive. Well, luckily, one of them was shot by him across the back of her neck.
And luckily, she survived that. You mean?
She survived it. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
There's evidence that actually occurred. Other witnesses were chased through the woods, and still others were.
And mind you, he would say scary things like, "I want to take you into the woods," and you. So, I mean, they've got a lot on him. I mean,
abused by him.
And they recognize him from the now.
Even from living
picture. I mean, he's all over the news.
Yes, and he's very distinctive, so he's easy to recognize.
He's massive.
He's a big,
I only have a couple seconds left. Have they told police? Are the police taking it seriously? Are they talking to you? Are they using this evidence? Are they collecting it?
No, not yet. They're not taking me seriously, and they should, because we've just also discovered that the Heuermann family that keeps getting written off as being innocent in this whole thing.
And you don't think so?
We have evidence that says absolutely not.
All right.
No,
Well, this
I don't buy
conversation
it.
hasn't ended. John Ray, will you come back again?
I don't buy that for one freaking second, you know? And the reason being because with the press release that came out, let's see, did I put that? What the hell is this? Oh, that's the tab that we're on right now. Yeah, Shannan has a strong spirit. She was a smart girl. And, you know, she knew Rex Heuermann. She didn't know him by name, but she had a freaky incident with him. Had a freaky incident with him where she went to a motel to turn a trick and he got weird. She realized he didn't have money. She must have been fearing for her life. So she locked herself in the bathroom. He got really angry. She called a cab. The cab driver was able to identify him as the man that was there. So, you know, inevitably, Shannan is tied into this whole thing. Whether or not she was taken out by Rex Heuermann is questionable, but he's not the only one that's suspect in all of this because of Shannan, which I believe she was too smart for her own good. Because of her, she exposed an entire ring of corruption, and it's absolutely wild. So let's take a look here. This is my other, this is another video I had done when John Ray and the new police chief, I believe that's who that is, did a new press release, and they, you know, talked about Karen Vergata and the fact that apparently when she had gotten out of jail one night, a woman who was the witness that came forward, she and her cop boyfriend, a police officer, picked up Karen Vergata and took her for a sex party over at Heuermann's house. His wife was there. So I don't know that they, and you know, I don't think it was, I think because the wife is like RACIST a little bit or whatever. The woman, the witness who was there with the police officer, she was African American. And because of that, I think the wife didn't want to have anything to do with her. So they didn't end up getting it on, but the man and Rex got it on. So the police officer and Rex got it on. Ew. And then, you know, Karen Vergata was probably there to what she thought make some money and turn a trick. But things got weird. And at one point, they left Karen Vergata there. And as they're leaving, the woman is like, shouldn't we take her with us? And Karen Vergata comes running out of the house and fully nude, stark, and like Rex comes chasing her out, grabbing her, pulling her back inside the house. And the woman's like, oh no, like, shouldn't we take her with us? And the police officer is like, no, they're just playing a game. Leave her there. And Karen Vergata's up in the corner right here. You can see her. That's a picture of her when she was young. So they literally left her there. I don't know if that it was the police officers procuring victims for him, you know, maybe just don't ask, don't tell, paying me enough money. I don't care. I'm going to drop the sex worker off at your house. And what you do is your business beyond there. Like they just treat these women like they're garbage or something because of the line of work that they're in. But
So
they're not. They're human beings. It's totally wrong.
And let's talk.
And they're here. Okay, so then we don't have to wait. I wasn't going to wait anyway.
Oop, we're doing an Inception thing right now.
They step in. We might have to go over a few things. I don't know. All right, when you're ready, you tell me, and I'll tell you I'm ready.
Okay, so this is Attorney John Ray.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And he is the attorney of Shannan Gilbert's family. He's very diligent. Okay. He also has, you know, I'm going to say he definitely has a flair for a style. Okay. I see your comments there in the comment section, but I'm going to have to like stay focused a little bit more here tonight. And then we'll get to comments and stuff like as we get rolling. So
my beautiful co-host.
All righty. So yeah, John Ray, the attorney, and this is the new Suffolk County police chief. Came out.
All right, we already said that.
Of which there are 4, have given us statements, 2 of whom have given us affidavits regarding this case, regarding Rex Heuermann and Shannan Gilbert and Karen Vergata. Before I talk about them, first, I want you to be aware that here stands the commissioner, as you know, with me. And
okay, commissioner, but not the chief.
Up until now, we have not made it known to the public that we have been working together on this case steadily since the time that I came to know Commissioner Harris a year ago, February. Their names will go unmentioned. Their names are blotted out of the affidavit.
He was talking about the witnesses that came forward to bring this
right
information to light.
Conference. As to the first one, I'll talk
Woman and the police officer.
This is a witness.
So it makes me wonder, like, you know, when trial finally happens, whoever the police officer was that was bringing sex workers to Heuermann's house, he better be on the stand. You better be there as a witness. And honestly, I feel like you're culpable. Whoever he is, he should be being looked at as a suspect. Everyone and anyone that was involved, even if it was obscurely, needs to be investigated. Because the levels of corruption, horrible. The fact that a police officer would be delivering an escort to a potential SK's home, like, maybe he didn't suspect that he was, but maybe they did know, and maybe they just didn't give a F. Maybe it's common practice that you just get rid of them when they know too much. Or, like I said, you pay enough money. Oh, well, pay a certain price. The police look the other way. I mean, that probably happens a lot. So, I don't know. This is like, it's kind of explosive, this information. And I really wish I could show you guys the symposium. It kind of makes me mad that people want to hoard information like that. Like, we should be able to have access to that information as well, because it's public information. I mean, it was a symposium for the public to reveal this new information that is going to help shed light on this case, which is something we all deserve to know about. You know, if there's deep levels of corruption happening within the law enforcement, like, we deserve to know about that. So people that are like hoarding the information, like, oh no, it can only be on my channel. Like, okay, cool, because you just want all the views and all the clout, but we really just want to have access to the fucking symposium, excuse my language, without getting copyrighted, without getting censored. But oh well, too bad. That's the world we live in today.
Who has every reason to have no bias, no interest in the case whatsoever. She was not a sex worker, is not a sex worker. Worried about that too, that it would attract police. Anyway, she seemed credible.
So I just
appears to be credible.
Skipped ahead,
and she was willing to
since I
sign
already
an
explained to you
affidavit
guys like what happened,
to that effect. And that affidavit,
it's really kind of to just like tie in a lot of what originally happened. But these were some true crime cards that I had been pulling while we were watching this press release, and it's kind of crazy what cards I was
will
pulling.
be available to everybody. In the details I've just told you, you will find there. The second witness who's come forward. This woman is not a sex worker, never was.
So those cards were about Karen Vergata.
She's not involved in any sexual activities whatsoever. She has nothing to gain by coming forward. She's not looking for a book or money or the usual things that you're hearing about.
And potentially Rex Heuermann.
None of that.
Double life.
She came forward
Suffocate.
She's very
fucking SK. They can't copyright you for just, well, no, if you show somebody's like YouTube video, I don't know, I'm pretty sure like even if you speed it up and you still show the video, they're gonna copyright you. The person's channel will be notified and then they'll be like, oh, that's my video, you're not allowed to show it. Whatever, hoard the information yourself. I haven't been able to find it regular online. It's the only place I can freaking find it. I'm like, maybe we don't need to go all the way through that one. Again, no, we don't. Let me close out this tab. Okay, let's see. So let's listen to Shannan Gilbert's 911 call, right? For years, they didn't release this 911 call. Trigger warning. for sure. It's originally they tried to say, and this is part of what John Ray was talking about at the symposium, that originally they said like, oh, there was, they were all calm in the recording, and there was no violent activity. There was no reason to think that anything bad was happening. The woman was saying that people were going to kill her. She ran for her life. She didn't receive help from anybody. They oh my God, I'm pretty sure everybody that lived on that block in Oak Island was like somehow involved or in cahoots with each other. Nobody took her in. No one helped her. And then they want to act like the good guys. They're not. Nobody helped her that night. And I think she was taken out by probably not Rex Heuermann that night, although it's possible that he was there. There are potentially multiple people present at the home of
09, how can I assist you?
hold on, let's see.
Hello? Hello? Hello, you dialed into the 911 system. How can I assist you?
The dispatcher, honestly, sounds really short with her, and it's kind of
Hello?
frustrating.
Yeah. Do you need the police?
Like, she's
Where?
obviously trying to not speak very loudly because she's being pursued. She thinks she's
Where? Who's there with you? Hello? What's going on?
Oh, there's somebody after me.
What?
Somebody after me.
Somebody is harassing you?
After me.
Who?
Can you trace where I am?
Let me talk to him.
It was supposedly her driver, Michael Pack, who was there, and they were at the home of
By the Jones Beach.
shoot, I forgot this guy's name.
You're at Jones Beach?
By the Jones Beach.
All right, let me connect you to state police. Stay on the line.
Why? Why?
You got to talk louder to them.
Why? Why?
State Police, Trooper Fry. State Police.
Yeah, there's somebody after me.
I'm sorry?
There's somebody after me.
Where are you?
There's somebody after me.
Okay, where are you?
There's somebody after me.
Where are you, ma'am?
I don't know.
You're driving right now?
No, I'm inside the house.
I'm sorry?
I'm inside the house.
What house?
I don't know. Can you trace where I am?
I'm sorry?
Can you trace where I am?
No, I can't. What's your callback number you're calling from?
Huh?
What phone number are you calling from?
Somebody's after me. Please.
Are you in Suffolk County or Nassau County?
I'm in Long Island.
Where on Long Island are you?
No. 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 No, stop. No.
Where in Long Island are you? In Suffolk County? Nassau County?
Huh? Why? Why didn't you call me by my name? Why?
County? Are you on the line?
Stop. Please. Stop it,
You fast
please.
forward it.
Please stop. Please. Can you shut the door?
No, time to go.
Please.
No, but dress face. What the hell with that?
Please. Please.
Go that way, please. Come on, let's go. Come on, roll that side. Come on, go outside. Come on, all of us. Come on, roll outside. Come on.
No, please.
Come on. Please, come on.
Please.
Come on.
Why?
Just try it.
Why?
What I want to know is why was
County, are
she
you
so
online?
alarmed? You know, she must have experienced something when she got to the guy's house.
Why? Why? Why are you guys doing this to me?
See, like, that's what I wonder. Why are you guys doing this to me? Like, what did she see? What were they going to do to her? What did she think they were going to do that made her start to freak out like this? To where she eventually fled the house of the client, who is a rich man who is very influential. And I can't remember his friggin' name. If somebody wants to look that up for me, that'd be great. What'd she see? Like, it makes me wonder who all was there. Like, was it just the John and her driver, Michael Pack, whom, by the way, is now, he's been in prison, apparently, and arrested on charges for being involved with, like, human traffic. King. You know what I'm saying? So, the guy wasn't who he said he was. His real name isn't Michael Pack, the driver. And he was really angry whenever she fled. Like, they were really trying to get control of her, but she was smart, so she took off. But as she ran down the block and tried to get help, she was literally just met with a bunch of people in big-ass houses, all these rich people that didn't want to help her. They were kind of taunting her, it seemed like, teasing her in a way. Till she ended up all the way down. She ended up at potentially, so he says, Dr. Peter Hackett's home. This guy. And Peter Hackett. So Joseph Brewer, thank you, gosh, I knew that and it was like on the tip of my tongue. So Joseph Brewer was the homeowner, the client that she was originally there to turn a trick from. Didn't know exactly where she was, knew she was somewhere on Long Island. They didn't tell her the location. And apparently, like John Ray was saying, you know, this isn't something that you don't take payment after the fact with these type of things. You take the payment first and then you go see the client. At least that's what John Ray was saying. So I don't know. It's really sus. Like, I feel like maybe there was extra payment and, you know, who knows? Maybe Rex Heuermann was there. Maybe he was there. We have no idea at this point. We know Joseph Brewer was there and we know Michael Pack was there, but according to them, no one else was there, but we don't know if that's true or not. There definitely are multiple voices in the video. Almost sounds like it could be Rex Heuermann, but she ran all the way down to, you know, she stopped at a couple people's houses, really scared, running from Michael Pack, her driver, in the car, ended up at this Peter Quackett's freaking Oak Beach house. And he claims to have given her drugs to calm her down, sedate her, if you ask me, and then claims that she left after that. Okay, I don't buy it. Yeah, don't buy it. Super weird. Yeah, the doctor dude was weird. Like Miss Anonymous was saying, got her phone somehow, was calling her, got her phone number somehow, was calling her sister. Oh, from her phone? Yeah, how'd you get her phone? I wonder. You know, because the mom, like she was just saying, and the other thing was that in the other video was that she believes that she was done away with and that then they disposed of her in the marsh and made it look like, oh, I cannot show that. And made it look like, stop, we don't want that. And made it look like, you know, it was just an accident. She wandered into the marsh. Well, according to the new evidence, it was daylight. It was the morning. Like, it was early morning, but the sun was coming out. You could see. And there was what, like an inch and a half or 3/4 of an inch of water around her? How do you drown in 3/4 an inch of water face up on a bush when they found her body? Face up on a bush, but you drowned in the water. It doesn't even none of it adds up. It's like the police thought they could literally just say whatever they wanted to say here and that they'd get away with it. But I think they're all involved. I think she got drugged by the doctor, whom admitted to giving her drugs. And called dudes down the street. Or maybe the driver showed up and then they did away with Shannan and made it look like an accident. Her hyoid bone was broken when they did a second autopsy, which made them conclude, you know, it's likely that she was taken out. Oh yeah, the burlap, right? Burlap sacks. That's how the Gilgo 4 were found when they were looking for Shannan. Combing the beaches. And Shannan definitely also fits the, like, she definitely does fit the MO, you know. She already had like bad blood with Rex Heuermann, so it kind of makes you, that's Maureen Brainerd Barnes, who Rex Heuermann's just been charged with her homicide as well. And so I'm kind of almost feeling like, because Shannan had bad blood with Rex, like it makes me wonder if he might have been there, you know? Maybe he was. Maybe that's why she started to panic and asked, like, are you guys going to kill me? She'll get to that in the video, but we're not going to listen to the whole thing, because I think it's going to make us. Oh, wait, here we go. Let's see if we can skip it. Oh, down a little farther. I kind of almost wonder if she was set up. Like, that's why she says she was double crossed in my reading. Oops, I'm not sharing this too.
Are you in a house?
Sorry, I wasn't even sharing the tag. My bad.
Whose house is it? I don't know. Who is Mike? What's his last name? Mike what?
Oh, this freaking dispatcher pisses me off.
What
Like,
town
are you in on it?
Hello? What's Mike's last name?
At one point, the freaking 911 dispatcher says, put him on the phone. Like, oh yeah, put him on the phone.
He's not talking. I don't want to put a kid on.
They're like suspects on the phone. Let me talk to him. What, lady? Really? Now she's like running for it, I believe.
I think.
I don't know. This one's kind of weird.
Who's the shield on the car?
1955.
It's kind of hard to tell what's going on.
Shannan? I wonder if she has a phone in her pocket.
Shannan.
Yeah, she must have the phone in her pocket, and it sounds like she's knocked on someone's door right here.
Hello?
There's all kinds of inaudible stuff going on in the background, but you can't make it out because of wherever her phone is at. So the first part of the video is really disturbing, though, like the first part of the recording, because, you know, she's screaming at one point saying, like, they're going to kill me. And then she's running for her life. I mean, imagine how terrified this poor girl was in her last moment. So I guess, well, let's look at a couple of the things I had written down for the last reading. Sorry, I know this is kind of all over the place. I hope this is somewhat concise and you guys are following along. All right, it says, oh, I definitely had gotten pricked by a rose that day. That's weird. Pick the rose, get the thorn. She was dealing with some, risky business here. It says, and I got 2 times pricked by a rose, and it says stabbed in the back, double crossed 2 times. That's kind of what I was picking up when I was channeling her. I tried kind of to connect with her mom too, but I feel like I could hear Shannan saying, like, you don't want to talk to me? And it says Tower of Cards. It all suddenly came crashing down. I keep getting the word garage. I didn't feel like I could trust anyone. I was never so alone at this point. I was hiding. Someone picked me up. I was killed somewhere else. There's a lot of bad men, a lot of bad people, business executives and bigwigs that you would never think were clients. She said, good grammar. You have to have good grammar. You sound like a dummy. She was very intelligent. The girl was a singer. She had dreams, aspirations. She was going to school. She just was trying to make money for herself so that she could probably honestly get out of this life, but it was too late. She found herself in this web of corruption and this freaking viper den. It wasn't supposed to be forever. Game show. He really did a number on me. And then we got I remember I was kind of picking up on that like Kanye song, Fashion Lights. Like she kind of had this taste for, she wanted a nice life. That's why she was tantalized by kind of the seductive nature of the work. Remember the card that I had pulled and it said suffocate on that true crime card? You know what was crazy during Shannan's reading? I pulled, and maybe we'll look at the video a little bit. I pulled the card Marsh. I can't even freaking believe I pulled the Marsh card out of all the cards in my true crime deck. Like, she stopped at a guy named Gus Coletti's house first, and he was like taunting her, like, don't get yourself hurt, young lady. And whenever her driver stopped, Shannan like ducked down behind, I think it was like a boat or something. And Gus Coletti did attest to saying that the driver stopped, Michael Pack, and he said, you shouldn't have done that. She's going to get in a lot of trouble. Like, you shouldn't have helped her or told her anything. She's going to get in a lot of trouble. That sounds kind of threatening. He looked really mad, apparently, whenever he said that. This says, get rid of her and I'll make it worth your while. Hit. Someone was following me. And I kept getting the word drugged, like flashing in my mind. That was coming through. And then we had figured out that information about Peter Hackett actually claiming to have given her drugs. The fact that he could say all that stuff and was so brazen is honestly like beside me. Let's see what else. She kept showing me the word conspiracy, like in a neon sign. I was like, is there, and this was before we knew all this stuff, mind you, is there corruption or was there a great deal of corruption in law enforcement during this time? Makes me think there was. Police Chief Burke was very corrupt. And he was police chief for many years. And you know what Attorney John Ray says is that he basically had the whole police force corrupted. And now we know that one police officer took Karen Vergata, Fire Island Jane Doe, straight to Rex Heuermann's house and left her there. And that was the last night she was ever seen. The things I see that woman went through, horrendous. Horrendous. It's like the stuff that nightmares are made of. It's too graphic for me to even actually go into, but I've definitely like tuned into it a little bit. And trigger warning. But yeah, like, you know what? This man, Rex Heuermann, was into some serious like sadism and worse. His Google searches, which a lot of people are like, oh, Google searches, it doesn't matter. Well, when you're allegedly or being accused of and charged with murders, multiples, potentially even a lot more than he's even being charged with right now, being implicated in. I mean, come on, your Google searches are relevant for sure. Hello.
And then Dr. Hackett apparently was a police surgeon for the police force, too. He was a surgeon for the police force. So he definitely had connections to law enforcement. I'm thinking he just made a phone call or the driver showed up and it was all history after that. She said, pack of wolves, pack of wolves. Interesting, too, because Michael Pack, right? Pack of wolves, bad apples, sickness, easy money. Different levels, different devils. The more high-end the clients, the more dangerous the work became. Paid off to shut up. Clean up. And then honestly, one of the last things I saw with her was her getting groggy and like laying back on a couch or something at the doctor's house. And he's over here like, get some sleep. That makes me hope that at least if when she was killed, like she might have not been conscious, you know? Karen Vergata, though, I mean, like, how scary. Like, I had a dream that I was actually in the presence of Rex Heuermann, and it was absolutely terrifying. Like, you trying not to alert them that you know who they are, but when you know that you're in the presence of someone that has malicious intent, like, wants to kill you, it's fucking terrifying. That is some scary ass shit that I hope I never have to face in real life. And that I'm really sad for these women that they had to go through that. But I hope Shannan didn't have to feel pain. But she was terrified in the end. Yeah, and knowing that, you know, there was this like high level like trafficking ring going on that Michael Pack was affiliated with later on is also extremely telling. Extremely telling. So let's see. Hello, everyone. Chill. And I'll do my best to focus. You know what I mean? So there's just levels of corruption, I think. Like I said, spiders and this web. So now, according to the second autopsy that was performed, that Shannan met, technology is going to be catching up, and hopefully law enforcement will be catching up along with it. Wait, okay, I never thought you would take it this far, but what do I know? Hold on, let's see. Did some channeling right there. I kind of want to get to the like. Well, that's interesting. Let's watch this. See the answers clearly as to what happened to you. Help us continue to tell your story. Protect me as I do this reading. Holy Spirit, please protect my viewers and anyone that should watch this reading thereafter. Please remove any negative energies now. Send them back into the earth to be transmuted. Amen. Return to sender any negative energies that may be being sent to me or any of my viewers now at this time. And so it is. Shannan, did someone kill you? Were you killed, Shannan? All right, it definitely went to yes. It was just like a little nod. It's not moving a lot. There's really like some energy like going through my hands and down into the crystal right now. I can feel it. I don't do the pendulum a whole lot. I'm more experienced in tarot reading and mediumship. When you left Joseph Brewer's house? Well, we know they were. Oh, now it's moving. Okay, yes, that's obvious. Oh, yeah, you can see the little yes on there. Did Joseph Brewer have anything to do with your death? Am I asking the right questions? Getting a pretty stark no on that one. Okay. Surprising. Wow, look at it go. I know, what is that? Maybe I had Michael Pack have anything to do with your death? Ooh, it definitely, oh, right toward yes. Look at that. That's crazy. Definitely moving 55, 55, right when I looked up. Did Michael Pack kill you? Ooh, oh, that was strong. Yes.
I know. Is there something else playing? There's got to be something playing in the background, I guess. So, okay. Earlier when I had asked that question, I was writing it down in my phone. As soon as I was writing it down, you guys, my freaking speaker, it like dinged. It made a sound. And it does that. Like, that's kind of become this, like, that's definitely become a confirmation lately.
My speaker
My
always
spirit's
does crazy
confirming something
things.
for me.
My computer
That
like
happens.
it'll
at
turn
such
off. My
synchronistic
speaker will
moments.
turn
And it's,
off.
you know, it's usually
Confirmation
when
by
there is
spirit.
a spirit present that I'm connecting with, that like, it's like when I've got something and I'm like onto it, they're like, yes, truth. So that's, you know, I look for all the signs and everything. I think spirit communicates through all things, but I did notice that when I wrote that question down earlier, ding, my little speaker went off.
Kind of. The way that Spirit Box works, you know, is it's all electronic, like it's all energy. So of course, spirit.
Why wasn't anyone looked into a little bit more? This is so weird.
Anything that is powered by energy, right? Anything electronic is really easy.
Is the reason why your death was not investigated due to corruption in law enforcement?
Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to yes.
Yes.
We called this stuff months ago.
What is the
last year?
What is the first initial of the person that killed you, Shannan? Okay, I'm not making it fucking do that. At first, it looked like it was over like by the. It looked almost like it was going over there, like RQP
and fantasy,
but it kind of shifted gears a little bit. I would say it's between MNOP. MNOP is what I was getting. So we do have that M coming through. Interesting. I'm not going to say definitively, but I do feel like I see what I see in my visions, you know? I see what I see. It's like that face up position.
Fucking autopsy.
Isn't, I don't know. Like if you were to just fall down and drown, you don't drown in absolutely a puddle of water.
No, you don't. That's sus. Okay, we're not allowed to watch that because that gets us copyrighted. What's going on here?
A promise, making a promise. Did he make a promise? See, remember like I was saying earlier, like this promise of like, make a promise of.
Okay, I don't know. Oh, let's see what the cards said. But check it out, right? I was shuffling my true crime cards. We got autopsy. We know that the second autopsy revealed that there was a broken hyoid bone, right? And apparently there was like a hole in it, or it was like broken. So, oh my God, this is fucking crazy. Look at this. Video recordings, digital forensics. That one came out again. It says audio recording evidence. That's fucking crazy right there. Hey, I might as well make this. Why don't I go like that? Yeah, I don't really need. Do I need it to be like that? Actually, maybe a little less. Oh, whatever, who cares? It says fucking digital forensics, audio recordings. That's wild. After we just watched that and autopsy, and we got, oh my God, you guys, we got police. We got police. Okay, we already know the police are being implicated. Oh my God. This next one literally says framed, set up. Miss Anonymous, you were asking earlier, do you think she was set up? I mean, I think it's possible. Like I said, she had bad blood with Rex Heuermann. It's so possible that she could have been set up. I mean, I almost wonder if he was there. Investigate. Like, get it. Shannan Gilbert, if you're here tonight, give us a couple cards and bring us some clarity to this case. What's that? Abandoned building.
Abandoned building, but it has something to do with the building. It doesn't necessarily have to be an abandoned building. Something to do with the building here. And clues. Sharp force weapon. Huh. Sharp force weapon I see at the bottom. Sharp force weapon. Maybe, I mean, if there was a hole punctured in her hyoid bone, maybe there was something small, skinny that was used, right? Wow, deceased. We've got cat and mouse and calling card. Calling card. Like, put her in the marsh, right? That was the calling card of, like, Rex Heuermann. Interesting. Let's get a little bit more. Oh, shit, we got cover up at the bottom. Cover up. Give us a little bit more. Essay. Axe, hatchet. That almost sounds like Hackett and Pack. It almost sounds like Hackett and Pack, the names of the driver and that Quacket doctor. Criminal record, huh? Criminal record. So we got Michael Pack in jail for being tied in with a pretty elite ring of human trafficking. Excuse my language, YouTube. Please don't sponsor me. Bound. Oh my God. A lot of the victims, a lot of the Gilgo Beach victims were bound, right? Let's get a little bit more, and then we'll just get back to that video and probably finish this up. Holy fucking shit. I cannot make this stuff up. Excuse my French. What? I was just shuffling. Look at this. Swamp, marshland. Again. I know it's Shannan Gilbert. I know it's her. That's crazy. Ew, we got crawl space, basement, and underground. Remember... Now, I don't really think she was taken, like, that far away, like to Rex Heuermann's home or anything like that. Cold case. Hidden in plain sight. Nearby. Her body was right there, right? It was right there in the marsh. Hidden in plain freaking sight. Okay? But Rex had this, like, he had that basement, right? The creepy dungeon, which they were like, oh, it wasn't a dungeon. Like, yeah, it freaking was. And I'm pretty sure that's wherever he did away with Karen Vergata. It's probably where he would take him down there. Where he had a giant, you know what? He had a giant safe in there that was, like, big enough that you could walk into it. So, yeah, this big ass steel, and you probably couldn't hear anything once you were in that thing. Wow, I can't believe Swamp and Marsh freaking came out again. That's clear. That's clarification of all the cards that could come out in this whole deck. Of all the cards, for real though. Come on. I can't make this stuff up.
He was her driver, but actually the drivers are like also their pimps. So the drivers depend them out.
No empathy.
I have a feeling like
no
he definitely would arrange some of the business for her, right?
Sadism. We already talked about that. Rex Heuermann's a sexual sadist.
He would connect her to clients.
Remember that he said his favorite tool was a hammer during an interview?
That up for her sometimes. Maybe like
he's like, I love a hammer because it's very convincing.
So he's definitely not just like a good guy. And I think that he came out, you know, with his statements saying like, oh, the last he saw of her was just she ran off into the night and that was it.
Oh yeah.
Kind of calm down, chill out, like don't worry about it. Pacifying energy while you ride it out, riding out the wave. But Bugaboo does make me feel like there was maybe some controlling energy, some type of like maybe some obsessive energy. Maybe there was a little more than just driver, right? Maybe a little more than just like her driver vibe. Maybe
you'd see love hate a bunch of times come out.
Than that. Maybe he had an obsession.
Oh, he definitely knows. He's
already used to being in abusive connections. Like her ex-boyfriend, Shannan was identifiable because she had a jaw. She had a broken jaw at one point, and she had a metal plate put into her jaw because her ex.
You know, the creepy thing too is like
boyfriend.
Dr. Hackett, you know, their houses right there on Oak Beach are just like overlooking like the marsh, right? They're overlooking the beach area. And pretty creepy to think that if he knew that there were potentially like bodies out there, I don't know, you like looking out there, like drinking your cup of coffee in the morning, like, I love the smell of dead prostitutes in the morning. Like, my God, freaking disturbing. Actually punched her so hard that it broke her jaw. So, you know, wow, investigating. Investigating. Oh, that one came out in the cards we just pulled. Investigating. So maybe that's saying like they, you know, they were investigating him. They were looking at him for a second, but why did they ever stop doing that? Well, those ones don't. I almost wonder what comes out if I pull any of these. Oh no. There's just not enough sometimes, and then they're just backed into a corner. Like they don't know what to do. Yeah, keeping you a secret. I knew this was going to happen. Going on, and protecting yourself, and it shows a woman right there with the gun, looking out the window. Secret, or look at that though. That's being on edge. Kind of a woman alone in the night, evidence, with the trees, and it's all misty. Burning evidence, cover up, big time. We saw that. It does give me like hiding vibes. She looks kind of scared. It's not always in the words, you know, a lot of times the symbology, like Mr. Brady was saying about the drinking energy with the King of Cups. Holy shit, investigating came out again. That one just came out in the other reading. What the hell? Whoa, these cards are tripping me out tonight. Recording. Oh my God. Okay, so we already got that. Digital evidence. That stuff. Audio recording. Maybe I just do one of these too. Let's get coming in after you. Shut the front freaking door. Community. Coming in after you on your freaking horse or on your vehicle. You know, horses often show up in the tarot and in my cards. House. Around or representing vehicles. Wow, that kind of looks like his house in a way. Check it out with the with the blue stuff. We have once again kind of like tapes on this one. Maybe for audio recording. Coffin. Oh God. Okay, so community. Discarded her like trash. Community. Whoa, police. Working with the community, a group. Working together, a community effort, right? There's more people involved here that are nefarious in this community than like just Rex Heuermann. It's more than it's bigger than that, aligning yourself with the universe, private relationship. Wow, great actor. One of the escorts, a lot of those in this interviewed that had gone on a date with Rex Heuermann, who was saying he brought up the Gilgo Beach murders, and he was always so like, you know, he was so excited to talk about it. And I mean, I love talking about true crime, but in the way he talked about it was like different, you know, it was weird. It freaked her out. Excited about like, oh yeah. Saying that there's a lot of naughty boys. There's a lot of naughty men in this community, right? There's a lot of naughty men out there in Long Island. There's a lot of people out there. Manhattan is huge. New York has so many people in it. Like there's so many freaking people. There's so many wolves hiding in sheep's clothing. And that's why she said it's more like wolves earlier. She said it's more like wolves, it's not necessarily like spiders, even though there is this web I see that is woven. It's bigger than that. Wolves in sheep clothing all over the place. So crazy. Wow. My face right there. Okay, that's where my video got censored. Oh yeah, this was something we were talking about. The new, like that there's some algorithms now that will show patterns in certain, you know, in deaths and manners of death, and they'll show like basically like, you know, if there's similarities in like profiles of victims. So these algorithms can more easily determine now, you know, where there could be serial killers, and all those red dots are potentially like serial killer activity in this country. And that map was made several years ago, but not that long ago, just a few years, 2018 or something like that. So there are anywhere from, they say like in the 30s amount of like serial killers active in this country right now. I just saw 111 in the time, up to potentially around 200. So There could be quite a few active killers out there, and they say a few of them are likely even police officers. The Mesa Boneyard killer, they say it could be someone in law enforcement, but they just don't. I mean, I'm sure maybe they're not trying to, I don't know, you know, the corruption runs deep, but like the Mesa bone collector potentially is law enforcement. So there are quite a few serial killers out there. The fact that Rex Heuermann's just been hiding in plain sight, super scary, but it's also really scary knowing that there were police that were like procuring victims for him, you know, and just not really giving a F. Just like, hey, whatever, pay me and I'll look the other way, don't care. That's kind of what it seems like was going on here. Like, I don't think he's the only one that was probably doing away with sex workers, but also because he might have had friends in high places, like this crooked cop, James Burke, who is now, oops, I'm not sharing. Hold on, let's see. Oh, it's that one, yeah. So this guy, where the hell is it? Yeah, James Burke, super corrupt. He wouldn't let the FBI in on the case for quite a long time. I mean, for years and years, he wouldn't let the FBI help with the case because, of course, he knew that it was going to reveal all of the crooked shit going on in his jurisdiction. So you got to think, like, if the chief of police at the time, this guy, was corrupt, then obviously all the people that he's hiring and allowing to work there are going to be corrupt and probably okay with crooked shit too. Right? Your little minions, people that, you know, and so they were all like, what? Like the police officer that dropped off Karen Vergata literally had sex with Rex Heuermann. Like, gag me because ew, but like I'm sorry, I cannot. That guy, he is so scary looking and just like I personally no. I guess everyone has their flavor, but you know, no, not this guy, but Rex Heuermann, scary. It's pretty scary looking. So anyway, I've been all over the place, but hopefully, like I said, that was somewhat concise. To anyone that's coming in now, we're probably going to be done here pretty soon, but a web of corruption, a pack of wolves when I was doing my original channeling session with Shannan Gilbert. Check it out. See, even during this reading, which was about Karen Vergata, we pulled the swamp and marshland card, and we got that one even earlier. And we got that one during Shannan Gilbert's reading. So that's crazy. That card came up multiple times. That's how you know, because honestly, the deck's pretty thick. I think I put like, I don't know. I think I put like 120. There's like 111 cards or something, or just as many true crime terms I could think of. That's the deck of all the cards that can come out. So multiple times we got that. And I feel like that's definitely some confirmation. I don't know. Let's maybe try the pendulum, and you guys can put some questions in the comments that you want me to ask the pendulum. Like we could ask, I don't know, maybe we asked like, I guess we can ask if Rex did this to Shannan or what, if like other victims are like tied to Rex, what the names were. I don't remember what their names were now. The lady from North Carolina and the other potential victim from Vegas. So if you guys think of any questions that you want me to like ask the pendulum, well, ask Shannan Gilbert, ask maybe Karen Vergata if you're here. I feel her energy is like a little bit more shy. She's also been passed away for a long time. So I'll just wait a second. There's only a few people in here with me, but if anyone can think of any questions, and I'll face the computer down. I'll face the camera down and we can try to do a little bit of I'm like, no, I can't see. Wait 1 second. All right, so we're going to do a little pendulum. If anyone can think of any questions, please put them in the chat. I will ask the pendulum. I will ask the spirits if they want to give us any answers here, right? Okay. I've got a couple on my mind. All right, Shannan Gilbert, we ask that you come through now and help us to get some clues here, get some validation. Okay. Show me yes. Thank you. Show me maybe. Thank you. Show me no. Right, it like kind of goes toward no and then it stays still in the middle for no. Okay. Was Rex Heuermann there the night that you died, Shannan? All right, I'm actually getting a no on that one. Did Peter Hackett have anything to do with your death? Strong yes. Wow, it's even shaking a little bit. Did Michael Pack kill you? Whoa. Really strong yes. Even though that may not be his real name. Don't know what his real name is. Totally forgot. Okay, let's see. Okay. Karen Vergata, if you're here, well, Shannan also has access to Akashic record information, so we can ask her too. Let's see. You said you wanted to know if the affidavit was correct about that night. Okay. Yeah, let's ask. Was Karen Vergata killed by Rex Heuermann? It's a strong yes. Okay. Was the witness that came forward about Karen Vergata being left at Rex's house being honest? It's really vibrating. Whoa, it's like I can feel it shaking. That's crazy. Yes. Ooh, I got one. Ooh, okay. Does Rex Heuermann's wife, Asa Ellerup, have anything to do with the death of Karen Vergata? No. Okay. Did Rex Heuermann's wife help him dispose of any of the bodies? Definitely leaning toward yes, kind of going toward unknown. Wow, I'm getting like some crazy magnetic energy. Did Asa Ellerup know that Rex was killing the sex workers? Whoa, it's shaking and hard yes. That's all I can really mostly think of. Okay, let's see. Is there more evidence out there? Let's see. Is Rex Heuermann tied to the death of the North Carolina woman? It's going hard, yes. Let's see. Was Rex Heuermann tied to was she dismembered? The woman, the victim in Nevada. Hard yes. Whew. Has Rex Heuermann killed women in more than 3 states? I gotta say that one was leaning toward a yes right there. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't do pendulum a lot, but I'm inclined to think it doesn't really matter the form of divination. Like I said, spirit can communicate all ways. I know I'm not rocking that thing. I'm doing my best to keep it dead center, but you feel that energy like moving through the conduit of the little crystal. Quartz crystals are very conductive. They're like the most conductive crystal. The clearer the quartz, the more conductive the energy. So I don't know, but those cards do be telling. So yeah, if you're interested in watching the symposium, go for it. It'll corroborate, my previous readings and whatnot. I'm glad I did this tonight because, like I said, my other one got copyrighted big time. So hopefully this one doesn't. And I'm pretty sure that's all I've got for now. Really fascinating. And, I guess it is always reaffirming as a medium and as a psychic to get validation, right? There definitely have been some big points that I've I've called in different cases, like Brian Koberger dropping the knife sheath. You can go back and watch me in a trance call that. So I saw him patting his side saying F, like I fucked up. Like he dropped something. That's why I went back the next morning. Right. And I don't know, for all the conspiracy theorists around that case, like in the Delphi case, I get it. Like that one is pretty complicated. I'm not going to lie. But the Idaho case, I don't know. I just feel like that one's way more. It's black and white. Like the alibi, ridiculous. And the white car, and it makes sense. And then we're going to have to hold tight, though, because hopefully they do let us know whenever trial is going to be. Please hit the like button if y'all haven't already. I'm sure those of you that are here have. Thank you for sticking around, sticking with me. And it was a little rocky to begin with, but that definitely did get interesting. I love you guys all so much. I'm the Spiritual Genie. Like, share, subscribe if you love my vibe and want to become part of the tribe. I'd love to have you. We've got an awesome little community around here. Kind of just getting back in the swing of things. So I don't know that I'll be posting a lot right now. I'm really focused on my healing and trying to, put down some of the balls that I've been juggling. But this is a story that I feel just really close to. I feel the presence of Shannan, and like I want to see justice happen for her, because I feel like they tried to just write her story off and just cover it up and, hide all the evidence and botched that thing to begin with. But thank God for John Ray just being on top of it since day one, because he's fighting for justice for her, and her spirit is working through all of us, so I just feel inclined to tell the story for the victims so that way they can, still speak, even though they're now moved on to the afterlife. So we thank you, spirits who guided this reading. Shannan Gilbert, if you were here, I feel like you were and you are. Thank you for showing up. And Karen Vergata, if you're here, thank you. Bless you. Hope that you all do rest in paradise. and praying for justice for all of you, for all the victims, because there's a lot and potentially more. So who knows? But there are definitely going to be some intense trials in these cases. Like this one is going to be crazy. The Idaho trial going to be freaking nuts. It's really tragic and sad. That one's going to be hard. And if we ever see a trial in the Delphi case, my God, what a mess. I don't even want to go there with that one anymore. I'm over it. Like, I'm not over it because I care about justice for all the victims. Like Abby and Libby deserve justice too, but it's a mess in that one. It's a mess. Although I do feel like, you know, I know what I've seen, at least personally in my mind's eye, and I don't know that there's a lot of solid evidence. Maybe there's more that we're unaware about, but whatever. I'm going to shut my mouth about that one. All right. So that's it for tonight. Love you guys. And everybody take care. Self-love is the best love. Treat yourself well. That's it. That's all, folks. All right. See you soon.